Hey everybody, it's Tim from My Crazy Good Kitchen. Hey guys, I am bringing you today a special cut of meat. This is a beef tenderloin, and I'm going to show you how you can save lots of money by buying this completely ready for you to break down. Guys, this cost me $6.53 a pound. If you were to buy this in the grocery store, or if you were to go out and to a butcher and have it cut up into steaks, you'd be up to $21, $22, $25 a pound. Hang with me. I'm going to show you in a couple easy steps how you can go buy one of these and break it down and portion it up into steaks. And these steaks, once they're vacuum packed, will last for a long time. See you back here in a few minutes. Okay everybody, welcome back. So here it is. I took the tenderloin out of the plastic wrap. And let's first talk about where this comes from. The tenderloin, the reason they call it the tenderloin is it is because a muscle, it's a muscle that the cow has that he very rarely even uses. This is underneath the rib cage. If you can imagine running down the sides of your spine, two long pieces of meat, tenderloins, and they're underneath the ribs. They really don't do a whole lot, so they're very tender. Obviously, this is the single most expensive piece of meat found on a cow. And again, these things can range depending on where you buy them. If you were to go to a butcher and just get a steak, an 8-ounce or a 10-ounce steak cut out of it, you would probably pay upwards of $22 to $25 a pound. Depending on where you live, it may be more, maybe a little bit less. This in a whole form was $6 and whatever I said, 45 cents or $6.56 a pound. But you have to learn how to break it down. And it's really simple. Tools required: a bone knife that is sharp, a boning knife that is sharp. That's really it. A pair of gloves so you don't get blood all over your hands. I just have a chef jacket on because I don't want to get blood on my clothes. You don't even need a chef jacket. I'm just doing this because I don't want to get dirty. Okay, very simple. There's two pieces to the tenderloin. We have what's known as the chain. This is a muscle that runs along the side of the tenderloin, and then you have the actual tenderloin itself. The narrow end, the pointy end, the tail of the tenderloin is up toward the cow's head. The other end, the big end, is down toward the cow's tail. And this connects that piece of muscle to the rib cage. So the first thing we do is just slowly, let's pull this chain, as we call it, away from the actual tenderloin. Don't throw this away. This is where your steak tips come from. If you've ever had like steak tips at a restaurant, that is beautiful meat. That's going to require some more breaking down. We can show that at a later time. So I'm just going to take the chain for right now, and I'm going to put it off to the side on the plate that you can't see here. And now what I like to do is, since I'm right-handed, I like to keep the big end up toward my right hand, and I leave it at an angle so I can work this way. You'll notice on top of the meat, this shiny kind of a membrane here. This is called silver skin. And a lot of it you can just peel off. So you can go around with your hands and try to peel whatever you can get off by yourself. Okay? But you'll notice this piece, and it's always there, is really thick and it's attached to the meat. So all you're going to do with your knife is you're going to stick underneath of the silver skin and the meat, and you're going to push it through, and then you're going to angle your knife up, and you're going to hold the silver skin up, and you're going to go like that and peel it right off. This is why we call it peeling a tenderloin. And it's really quite simple, guys. See what I'm doing? I'm going back and forth, not too deep, and eventually I'll pick an area where I just want to pop right out like that. I'm going to angle my blade up, and I'm going to start slicing up, and eventually I can get my fingers in there like this. See, now I have my finger underneath of it, and I can just simply peel away. Angle your knife up and peel away. Same thing on this side, peel away. And you'll throw that away. Obviously we won't need it. And you'll just continue to do that. Really is quite simple. You are saving yourself so much money when you do this. Think about it. If you've ever gone to a steak restaurant and you purchased a filet, what'd you pay for that? You paid a lot of money. And I understand why they're expensive, because there is work breaking it down. But you can do this on your own and enjoy filet at your house for a fraction of the cost. And you'll just keep working your way through. The first time or two you do it, you'll be a little bit nervous because it's expensive meat and you don't want to waste it. As long as you keep that knife blade angled up and come across, you're not cutting into the meat. And if you do a little bit, who cares? Slice down, push up, like that. Okay, and if you have to turn it a little bit to work on the other end, or work at it at a different angle, you can. Whatever works for you. Just keep working until you get it cleaned up as much as you want. My father-in-law the other day purchased some meat from one of those companies on TV, $65. You get all these different steaks, and filet was included. And guess what he got? He got a filet that wasn't even clean. They just left all this silver skin on. You can't eat it. So don't fall for that. Go get yourself a nice piece of meat. Follow my simple steps. It's not going to look pretty the first time you do it. Won't look pretty the second time you do it, but guess what? It'll taste pretty. Put this on the grill. This is the best meat there is. Okay, now, also notice, it kind of looks like a mushroom head, doesn't it? Looks like a mushroom here. You have the tenderloin in the middle and you have these two wings on the outside. So what we're going to do with our knife is just kind of separate them a little bit. Don't cut too deep. Just separate them because there's silver skin down in there. Try to do this more facing the camera, but this is a little bit awkward for me. But you're going to see this fat that comes up? Just use your knife and clean it up. Okay, and then you can kind of just maybe fold that meat under, and now you have this big piece of fat here. You can just simply cut it out. And again, I'm doing this a little backwards for me because I'm right-handed, but got to get it on the camera for you. This big chunk of fat in there, you can get your hands in there and just rip that off. Just fat, that's all it is. More fat. Little piece that's hanging off like that, cut it. You're going to save that for tornadoes. Okay, put it up on its side now. Notice the fat running right here. You can just simply go in and, cut real shallow and kind of peel that layer of fat off. This is a choice, USDA choice cut, so you'll have a little bit more fat on it. But it also gives you more flavor. Fat equals flavor, although we don't want a lot of fat in it. Okay? Sometimes you can take the back of your knife and scrape it that way. And you can take that fat, just be careful you don't cut yourself. Now look down on the tail here, the tail section here, we have a little bit of fat. Go to work. You know how to do it. Peel it off. Okay? Peels right off. See? Look at this beautiful meat. Anybody can do this. You don't need to go to culinary school. You don't need to be a chef. You need a knife and a little bit of time. And you just saved your family a whole lot of money. And look, in here, we have some silver skin. That's got to go. Some of it you can peel off with your hands again. Others, you have to just get in and get your knife blade under it. Okay, like this. Knife blade goes in, angle it up, and say goodbye to it. Okay, real simple. Same thing over here. Knife blade in, angle it up. Say goodbye to it. Another little piece in here. This stuff gets tough, guys, when you cook it. So that's why you want to do your best to get rid of it all. Another little piece in there. Get rid of it. And then I'll go back up here again. Kind of doing this backwards, but that's okay. Cut it off. The fat's not a big problem. It's that silver skin, the shiny stuff you want to get rid of. That's the stuff that makes a beautiful piece of filet not so rememberable when you eat it. Or memorable, rather. And that's a beautiful piece of filet. Now, if you would have gone to a grocery store or a butcher and bought it just like this, your $6.56 a pound just became $20 a pound. Why? Because of all that supposed work that went into it. I don't know how long that took me to do, but what, 5-10 minutes max? And now you can cut it. You can portion it. Okay, what I like to do with the end piece, I just cut the end piece off. Okay, why? Because I can use that for tornadoes. By the way, if there's any fat on the bottom, you can just scrape it off. So I will take that. I'll take this chain right here, and I'll peel that. And remember that little piece that I cut off? Look at that. Pasta, beef bourguignon. You know, you could take peppers and onions on skewers with olive oil and chunks of this meat, put it on your grill. This is insane stuff. Really good. Crazy good stuff here, guys. Okay, but I'm going to put this off to the side. Don't throw that meat away, boys. Steak and eggs. Oh my God, I'm hungry. I'll put this over here. And now you can begin to kind of portion it, you know, however you like them. I tend to like a filet steak about like that. It's up to you. That, look at that. Beautiful steak. That probably is, I would say, about 6 ounces. Okay, you don't need to be more than that. Another 6 ounces. I'm just using the chef knife for this, guys. Another 6-ounce steak, maybe a little bigger. Remember, as the diameter gets bigger, you don't want to keep the same width because that'll be a heavier piece of meat. Look at this. Okay. Oop, there's a little piece on the end. We'll get rid of that. That's more fat than silver skin. Well, there's some silver skin underneath of it. Again, go underneath of it and just cut it down. I'm trying to do this in the camera. It's a little bit difficult, so I'll have to go this way. Right like that. Okay, we're still going, guys. And I will probably, well, I'd save this end and put that right on my tornadoes pile. And there's another steak. So let's do some simple math here. You go to your favorite steak restaurant, you spend what, $27 for a filet? You can do the math. Let's make it 25, it's easier. 1, 2, 3, that's $100 retail right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, another $100 retail. $250 worth of steak retail, and we haven't even gotten to this yet. This is the tornadoes. We can take this and chop it up into small chunks, and man, you can do lots of stuff with this as well. Now what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to go ahead and vacuum pack this, and these will last, I'll put them in pairs, and these will last in my refrigerator for a long time. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this makes you confident with meat, and we're going to do a lot more in our Butcher series. Thanks a lot, and thanks for attending My Crazy Good Kitchen. Okay guys, so I'm now at the point in this project where I'm going to vacuum seal this for you. And notice what I did, I broke down that chain into its usable pieces, so I'll probably vacuum seal 2 of these. So what I have here to do it, I have a Cabela's Preserve Vac Premium 540842. I've shown this in other videos, but this is the one that I've chosen to use. There's a lot of these products on the market. They're probably all really good. The reason I chose the Cabela's, lifetime warranty, okay? I'm not sponsored by Cabela's, but the lifetime warranty is great. If you break it, you make a phone call, they'll give you a new one or repair it. So basically what we have in terms of buttons, we have manual seal, which you'll use to create one end of your bag before you put your food in it. We have a marinade and a canister button. If you look right here, there's a little hole, and you connect a plastic tube to it, and it connects to a special canister that will either, if I choose canister, it'll suck all of the air out of the canister itself. If we choose marinade, it takes the air out and it forces marinade in, whatever you marinate it with, whatever your product is. If it's chicken breast with teriyaki sauce, it'll help you force the marinade into the chicken. We then have a moist and dry, and this is very important. Moist food has water or liquid in it. And as you pull the air out of the bag, you'll see the moisture wick off the food, and it can go into the machine and cause problems. So you want to make sure if it's moist food, you choose moist. If it's dry food like cereal or nuts or whatever, spices, you would choose dry. We have a gentle or a normal setting. Normal is just for your everyday vacuum sealing. Gentle is for something you don't want to crush in the bag. You could use the gentle setting with lettuces and whatnot, fresh herbs. And then we have a vacuum seal and a cancel button. And that's what you're actually going to do the job of vacuum sealing with. So we'll turn it around, really easy to do. Lift your top up, lift up your cutting blade. You have a roll of bags here that you can put in. These bags are $25, $26 for 6 of them. You're going to pull out as much of a bag as you want. You're going to close over top your cutting bar, and I like to bring the knife here over to the left, but that's up to you. It cuts both ways. Close your bar, hold your bar down, and drag your little knife across, and now you have a beautiful bag. Turn it over, put it on your heating element, double click. 1, 2, and hit manual seal. Blue light comes on. When the blue light is off, you now have a sealed bag. Give it a second, and there it is. Push the buttons on the side of this, opens it up. We now have a sealed bag. You can see that line going across. Okay? Open up your bag. Put inside your bag whatever you want to be there. I'm going to take 2 fillets. I'm not going to put them right on top of each other. I'm going to lay them flat next to each other. Just like this. Okay? Doesn't matter what side they're on, shiny or not shiny side, it doesn't matter. Put it back in. You're going to slide it up a little bit more, however, to get it on the vacuum seal portion of the lip here. Double click it. 1, 2. We're going to make sure we're on moist because there's blood in here. We're going to hit the vacuum seal button. And now you hear it going, and eventually it'll get louder. And this blue light will kick on. And now it's sealing, and when it's done, you'll hear it go psh. There we go. And there's your perfectly sealed fillets. Notice the blood kind of pooled around. This will last in your refrigerator for a couple months. It'll last in your freezer for over a year. And you're going to put your date and what it is and put it in your freezer. That way you know exactly when you cut it. If you have a couple different fillets in there, you'll eat the oldest ones first. I'll do one more for you. I'll do the actual little tornadoes here. Same thing. Lift up your cutting bar. Pull out your bag. Close your cutting bar. And you can cut. I like to flip it over. You don't have to, but I do. Double click. Manual seal. And then you'll put your product in there that you want there and seal it. and you can enjoy filet or chicken or whatever you put in these things for months to come. Click to open it. Open your bag. I'll do the little tornadoes here, if you want to call them that, or filet tips. Can you imagine that on pasta with a nice brown sauce? I'll make that for you, show you how to do it. Portion it out to however many people are in your family at any given time. Sometimes I like to push it down, especially little pieces, because there's oxygen or air in between those pieces. Now we'll go up, we'll close it, double click. Make sure it's on moist. And we'll start the process. Push it down a little bit to help the air come out of it. Eventually the blue light will come on. And eventually this thing will be ready to go. Don't forget, mark it so you know what it is. Look at that beautiful stuff. That'll last again for months and months to come. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll come back and do lots of other butchering videos. I'll show you how to break down chickens and fish and all kinds of good stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for coming to my crazy good kitchen.